Welcome to episode 3 of my MR2 Restoration project. As you can see, the engine is sitting right in front of me in the car. I did not film myself taking this engine out. Well, I did start to film it, but then I realized that I didn't have a good way to lift the car up that wasn't extremely dangerous and would have earned me a lot of ridicule for how I ended up taking this engine out from the inside of the car. Long story short, it involved a floor jack, a cinder block that was a wee bit wobbly, but hey, I got it out. No bleeding, no broken bones. I'm still alive after this huge hunk of metal is outside the car. So in this episode, we're going to take a look at the engine, also the transmission. I've already taken that off. It's seen better days. So let's get started. I'm gonna try to get out of this car without hurting myself. So here sits the engine outside the car. You'll notice here that the engine mount had some, let's say, creative thinking put into it. She's dirty. All right, we'll take a walk around the engine, see what we see. So I mentioned the very questionable workmanship on this driver's side mount here. The rest of the engine's just super dirty. Just a lot going on. Here is the transmission. I already vacuumed it out. Looks to be in good shape on the outside, but there is a fundamental issue. So no matter how much I try to manipulate the shift lever, this thing will not budge. Let's see if I can turn the transmission a little bit more. So it's not playing nice. Pull it out, push it in, it will not shift. And this is completely locked up. So, you know, it is what it is. I honestly did not expect to use either one of these components for the build. Probably gonna go with the Silent TC transmission, just because it's known to be more durable. It's got the 6-speed, I believe 6-speed. It's lighter than the turbo MR2. It's got a little bit smaller of a footprint. They're pretty cheap. The modifications aren't too extensive to get them to work with this swap. So I might open the transmission out of curiosity, but I've never come across a good transmission where the output shaft was frozen and it would not shift gears. So more than likely it's scrap. This beast was heavy and not easy to get out from underneath the car. This header was kind of getting stuck on everything. So I decided to cut it so it could move out of the way just a little bit. It's junk anyway. I don't think anyone would want a stock 1MZ header. I noticed a lot of oil coming out from behind the bolts on the flywheel. So at some point the main seal has failed. So tonight my objective is to get the engine away from the car in the corner so that I can work on the car free of any obstruction. I can clean it up. I can clean up the bay, get everything situated, understand how the wiring was hacked up. So now I'm gonna put my cherry picker together. I haven't used this thing in a long time, since I swapped the engine into that S2000 I sold. So I'm gonna go ahead and get to work on that, and hopefully I can get this engine up in the air and off of my floor. This was the bolt for the cherry picker. It's pretty old. That cherry picker has been around for a very, very long time. Just so I can secure the top half of the cherry picker to the bottom half. Oh my gosh! Surely they've gotten lighter than this over the years. Oh, God. Oh my God, that is unreal. Okay, please don't fall because that'll kill me. Okay. Golly geez, jeepers, Jiminy Christmas. Come on. Please thread. Just a little. Okay. Alright. I'm never taking this thing apart again. Alright. Just need to snip these two thingies. Raise this up. Okay, no more ugga-duggas for right now. This looks pretty strong, so I shall attach it here. I'll attach it here. And I'll find a small chain to link these two together. All right. Alright, so I'm going to scoot the cherry picker up to the engine as far as possible. Try to get the hook just above the engine. I can slide it out some, but I'm not entirely sure how strong those bolts are. Oh, too far. I need to find a couple chains to hook onto the main hook that will also attach to the engine. Probably use bolts. So I figured this would be a really good option. I can hook this onto one of the exhaust studs and it'll hook right up to the main hook. Easy peasy. Slip that right on there. Maybe just like this. Is there enough room for the nut? No. I guess I'll just have to bend this to where it's a little more like a 90 degree, so I can actually fit the nut on there. So that did not work. Turns out that metal is strong. So I'm gonna try this instead. Maybe put a washer there so it holds a little better. let's see what happens. Can't be that bad, right? Watch this thing just topple over because I hooked it up so badly. Come on. All right. Nothing catastrophic. She's off the ground. Not bad. Not the sturdiest, but it'll do. I'm gonna get this engine away from the car because it has no business being anywhere near this car anymore. And there it sits in its final resting place. Well, until I figure out what to do with it. Figured I'd take a second to shout out these Harbor Freight wheel dollies. They're pretty nifty. I got a deal, 40 bucks for 2, so 80 bucks all around. It allows me to push the car around the shop however I need to. I mean, you know, you're still pushing around a couple thousand pounds. But man, it makes it much easier, especially in a small space. Whew, I'm tired.